Welcome to the Desert Dairy, the Walk Project. I'm Anna Stump, and this is Linda Litteral.
Hi. I was at a residency here back in March, right at the beginning of the pandemic, and Anna and I were walking around here, and the work that I was working on at that time was all spirals and different ways to move in that way. So I was talking about doing a labyrinth because I had thought I would do one at home, and I said it would look really good out here. Anna said, let's do it.
Yeah, and it's exciting because we're enlisting the help of the Feminist Image Group, which is a group of women that I started in 2009, and then I actually passed the leadership on to Linda last year. And so there are 60 women in the group, and a group of women made work for the project, and then a group of women is going to be arriving in a couple of days to help with the construction of the labyrinth.
There were 10 people that did artwork. 9 of the people did clay work, or 8 of the people did clay work, 1 did glass work, and 1 wrote a poem.
This is the site. It's a field, small field on our property that we think was probably cleared at one point to grow something. So we didn't have anything on it, and we weren't using it for anything, and it's pretty perfect because the views are so expansive. And Linda has started construction here. So Linda, can you explain this artwork? What
Okay,
work?
I can. The spiral that I chose is called a Triskelies. It's a modified triple spiral. So it's not really a spiral, but it has 3 legs. And this first leg, we're starting with the earth chakra and then the base chakra. And so you move up the chakras until you get to the meditative space while you walk along the line. And then when you come back on the other side, you come down the chakras until you get back down into the earth and into your body. So this is the center of the 3 legs. So there's 3 legs that you see that come off the center and that you walk around. And in this pole, I just did the concrete this morning. We're going to be stacking all of these ceramic pieces that I made, and it's basically a totem. It's a way to see the center when you're walking the labyrinth, and helping you to spiral into your center when you're doing the meditative walk.
The Desert Dairy Residency is going to be a constantly evolving artwork. As artists come, they will do projects. Some of the projects will be ephemeral and will disappear with the weather. Some people will work and then take their artwork away, and some people will work and leave some projects here. Because we're in a pandemic, it's taken a little bit of coordination and organization to have a bunch of people come here. Everybody's staying off the property. It's important that we work in a broad landscape so nobody's too close to each other. But I think it'll be a wonderful way for us to be together when we haven't been able to see each other for 8 months practically. So yeah, we're going to spread out and enjoy each other's company from far away. We're going to be going, hi.
Yeah, it's a process. I think Anna has worked really hard to organize the how do we keep everybody apart, and how making sure everybody has somewhere to stay out in town. And it's just been a process that we've talked about and kept changing and evolving until we felt comfortable with having people here.
And we thought doing it right after the election would be a good way for either to heal our wounds or celebrate. Hopefully, celebrate.
Okay, I find it very amazing that for this entire thing, I've touched every rock at least once. I had a lot of help on Saturday with the FIG group came out, and they brought me rocks and I placed them all. But most of them I went out into the desert and picked them up and brought them back and unloaded them and placed them in the labyrinth, and there's a lot of rocks there. Hi, I'm Linda Litteral, and I'm here to tell you about the labyrinth that I've been building at Desert Dairy. It's called The Walk, a meditation. Early labyrinths in ancient Greece were used during the springtime celebrations where male priest dancers performed a magical dance to evoke new birth to the land, society, and the psyche. This labyrinth has been invested with my intentions as a place to stimulate creativity, bring abundance, and be a place of safety for women. The walk is a journey into the center of your being. As you walk inwards, you are invited to release old patterns and debilitating emotional memories. You can just walk and allow the labyrinth to lead you, or you can have an intention in mind for your walk. Personal transformation and enlightenment are goals of the walk. The labyrinth can be a way to discover the sacred in everyday life. All you have to do is take the first step and move through the space. There is power in the process of the walk.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Mitchell, and for my piece, there's something about hands-on and in wet clay that lets the mind wander. Mine wandered into and out of a slightly exploding female torso. Placing her on the earth seems the most logical thing to do.
Stacie Birky Greene, another artist in the labyrinth. She has two pieces. The first one is called The Three Fates. During this time of COVID, I am drawn to the three fates. The fates spin, clotho. They draw out, lachesis, and cut, atropos, the thread of life. It feels like this cycle is happening right before our eyes, making these women palpable. I have women around me giving birth. I have people around me dealing with life in lockdown, just trying to survive and struggling to stay sane. In the center of it all, there are more than 200,000 deaths in this country and over 1 million deaths worldwide. The cycle is inescapably present. Her other piece is called Endangered, Arroyo Toad. The Arroyo toad is native to California and Baja California. They live in coastal and desert drainages. This toad was put on the endangered species list in 1994. Human activity has led to the endangerment of not only this species, but also the whole ecosystem in which they thrive. Some of the threats to this toad include habitat destruction, through contamination of the water, through agricultural runoff, urban development, dam building, mining, and off-road vehicles. This fractured toad is a representation and reminder of not only this species' struggle, but also the fate of our disappearing environments and what we are losing.
I'm Janice Grinsell. It's always an interesting process when creating, but add a new medium into the mix and a whole set of emotions rise to greet the endeavor. If it weren't for a lovely afternoon of exploration and gentle guidance provided by Judith Perennial, my piece, Life's Breath, would just be a reverie. This work is about the chances we choose to take throughout life, our reflections on the outcome, and where it propels us.
Another artist in the labyrinth is Judith Parenio. Her piece is called Milk for All. I have been deeply moved by so many people who don't have enough to eat. My offering is a mother dog who has various breasts to help the people feed. It's titled Milk for All. All I can do now is donate money on a regular basis to help feed those with little.
I'm Cindy Zimmerman, and rose rocks are my contribution to the labyrinth. Not real rose rocks, not real roses either, and not real rocks. Mineral formations of barite and sand, found in my home state of Oklahoma and almost nowhere else, near Lake Thunderbird in the loose red soil of road cuts. My version done in clay. So for Desert Dairy, 29 Palms, California, an element of my youth recreated.
Alvar of Alviso by Moya Devine. This piece is a memorial to my art student Alvar, who died this October after being removed from life support. Alvar was in a coma for a week after hitting a utility pole while rounding a curve in his car in Santa Clara. He ended up at our alternative high school after dropping out of regular school when he was bullied by members of the swimming and tennis sports teams of whom he played and swam for. Alvar of El Viso consists of 5 painted plaster masks, one of which Alvar started but was never able to finish due to COVID-19 shelter-in-place orders in Santa Clara County, which closed all schools. Each mask represents a letter in his name, and the masks are accompanied by 5 clay discs, right here, that spell Alvar. The masks have been painted in tempera and acrylic and are meant to degrade at different rates and to represent impermanence. He was such a goofy and good-natured kid, he deserved better world than this.
Kirsten Aaboe. The four-sided pyramid was inspired by Mayan culture, runes, and magic symbols, as well as the unstoppable power of women working together. The symbols incised into the sides of the steps are intended to bring focus and add to the restorative and uplifting spirit of the ritual the Feminist image group is engaged in with the Labyrinth project. The symbols on the walls of the pyramid include House of Water, Drying Rack, Spring, Morning Star, Shaman Eye, Blessings, Healing and Health, Purification, Travel, Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, Goddess, Growth, Opening, Movement, Partnership, Flow, the Self, Fertility, Joy, Protection, Strength, Warrior, Breakthrough, and Journey.
Ann Olson, another artist that put work in the Labyrinth. To me, a labyrinth symbolizes a journey or a quest. A quest begins with a desire for transformation. The journey involves seeking the means to that transformation and finally the realization of what one has realized or accomplished along the way. Ultimately, a quest is about the journey more than the destination. The tiles I created for Desert Dairy Labyrinth use spirals of many types to indicate the journey. Birds, shells, sun, and planets represent the assistance of nature received during the journey. Other symbols such as Om, consciousness, the yin-yang symbol, balance, and harmony are indicators of progress and discovery. Other shapes represent female power that is celebrated and acknowledged during the quest. 2020 represents a challenging interval in mankind's universal journey. The spiral of this year transforms into spiral of the unknowable future as we continue to seek transformation.
Hi, my name is Amanda Saint Clair, and my works have in common a desire to serve both a ceremonial offering and provide a respite for desert creatures through the employ of feminine forms. I imagine a scorpion seeking shelter within and an army of honeypot ants filling their abdomens from the gathered waters in the vessels. Ants drunk off angel tears staggering across the desert floor. I invoke the goddess of Hestia, Greek goddess of hospitality, to look after my little friends and to infuse this labyrinth with a welcoming energy to all who walk its path. Thank you very much.
Ariadne by Susan Osborn. On this tablet you see Ariadne in Greek mythology, who is considered the goddess of the labyrinth. She helped another Athenian hero by giving him a sword and a ball of thread to help himself out of the maze and escape after he slew the Minotaur, who was also kept in the labyrinth. Minnie Valero put 3 different goddesses into the labyrinth. The first one is the Venus of Willendorf. Venus of Willendorf, Pachamama, and Isis by Minnie Valero. I have made 3 goddesses. Goddesses are crones. According to Dr. Jean Shinoda Bolen in her book Crones Don't Whine, and Dr. Angelus Arian in Cultural Anthropology, in ancient times, like in all native beliefs around the world, a crone is a woman who has wisdom, compassion, humor, courage, and vitality. She can see imperfections in herself and others. Crones make a difference. Crones don't whine. They trust their instincts, meditate in their own way, and they are fierce about what matters to them. A crone is a woman who has found her voice. Enough is enough. A crone is flexible, resourceful, and keeps learning and growing. Crones have the attitude of gratitude. According to Merlin Stone and other anthropologists, evidence found suggests that all ancient myths, religions, and beliefs considered the female as creator, since she could bring life into the world. I have selected to represent goddess Crones in the Labyrinth of Life. Venus of Willendorf being the oldest piece of art found so far. She is between 25,000 and 30,000 years old. Life-giving female goddess Crone. Isis, ancient Egyptian goddess of fertility, motherhood, death, healing, and rebirth. Pachamama, a goddess revered by the indigenous people of the Andes, known as the Earth and Time Mother in Inca mythology religion, and the goddess of fertility. Spirals by Kathleen Mitchell. The spiral is an ancient symbol for growth and evolution, a representation of the cycle of rebirth, a mother goddess. The Three Sisters by Kathleen Mitchell. The three sisters represent how I feel about 2020. Love and compassion, purpose and direction, chaos and disorder. The Totem by Linda Litteral. Totem poles are monuments created by First Nations of the Pacific Northwest to represent and commemorate ancestry, histories, peoples, or events. Most totem poles display beings or crest animals marking a family's lineage and validating the powerful rights and privileges that family held. I have designed this totem to be a representation of all life and the creativity that life engenders. The spiral is found in all of life, in flora and fauna. The spiral of a seashell, the growth patterns of leaves, the spiral of DNA, they are everywhere in life and in history. They are carved in Neolithic stones, found in cave paintings on Native American designs, and on Aboriginal walkabout rock paintings. The next piece that I did is called the Labyrinth Chakra tiles. And so I've represented the earth chakra, the base chakra, the chakral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, the higher heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, the crown chakra, and the higher crown chakra. As you walk the labyrinth, you walk up from the earth chakra all the way through to the higher crown chakra when you enter the labyrinth, and when you leave the labyrinth, you walk down the chakras back into your body and into the earth. Possibility Bowls by Linda Litteral. The beginning spiral at the entrance has a possibility bowl in the center. It is the only one that is right side up, and you can tell it is a bowl. That is where your hopes and dreams begin, and you state your intention for the walk if you wish to at this point. All the other bowls are upside down with a spiral carved into the base. This is another way to protect your hopes and dreams if you want to place them within the walk and let it guard them for you. Mulch by Nilly Gill. Years, days, hours, minutes, words lingering on my lips. I can almost taste the weight of non-existence in their foreign horizon. I imagined fields of the wild, songs of workers, pain and nostalgia idealized from a distance. Cultures touched, marked me briefly and permanently. Some through translated stories. On aging pages, familiar scent of long ago, their haunting faraway tune, echoes every once in a great while. Absorbing images, tales of survival and death in my father's collection while growing up. A layered mixture, personal universal mulch, raws of weeds and red poppies blowing in dry wind, humming, you are all of it, forever and ever, hold it dearly. Pieces of lives tattooed in this museum of selves, its windows, doors open wide, eyeing, remembering, welcoming. I never stopped immigrating inwardly. Nilly Gill, August 12, 2020.